having technical issues because Charlotte...
We're not having any technical issues. She just won't leave the room.
Charlotte won't leave. There she goes.
Come on, Charlotte.
There you go. You can close the door.
All right.
Because everybody else will come in if
Sorry
they see
about
Charlotte's in. How professional.
I know you folks would love to see kitty cats, but they like to destroy everything.
Well, when we used to do it out in the dining room, they would walk across the table periodically.
This is very true. This is very, very true. Gosh, hello everybody. So on the Tick of Talk, we have set a live broadcast goal of hand hearts, and if you send us a hand heart, that'll hello Ash, good afternoon. Send us a hand heart, we'll give you a one card reading. And look, she's done it. There you go. So Ash has become the first person to send us a hand heart. And somebody else has too. I don't know who that was.
You have to figure it out because that's 3.
Well, thank you.
Well, now how are you going to know who we're reading?
I don't know, but I think how many she sent us?
Ash has sent them all. Oh, okay.
Well, you're only getting one reading, Ash. Don't be greedy. Let's see where we're at here. Hold on. Oh, hello. Oh,
Sean,
gosh, there's a ton of peeps. Hello, everybody.
Laura, Savannah.
Gilda and Cass and Wendy and Samaj. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Look, there's people sending us all sorts of things.
All right, so...
Well, thank you. Please share our live on the Tick of Talk as well. We'll get going. What are we doing today, then?
Oh, well, first I'll talk about my bad hair day. I don't know what's going on.
It's beautiful. Shut up.
It's got a mind of its own, and maybe...
I'm having a bad hair day.
Yes, of course. The one hair that you have.
Apparently somebody lit our gift up. I'm not sure what that means. But thank you for doing it. It's good to be lit this time in the morning. Well, it's not morning, it's afternoon, isn't it? It's noon. It is noon.
Good noon.
Good noon. Right, anyway, so apart from your bad hair day, which I don't think it's that bad, frankly.
Well, it's not like I like it, but it is what it is. All right, so I bet you bunch of people noticed that Mercury went direct. Oh, look, tooting horns of some sort. That Mercury went direct.
So I bet you could.
The sensitive people could feel. Oh, good morning, Wendy. The sensitive people could feel that shift. However, we've talked time and time about this, so I'm sorry if I'm boring you. That we know Mercury was at a place, and then it went retrograde, and then it goes direct, but it has to get back to that same place before we really start feeling the energy.
Has a fancy name, doesn't it? It's still in its shadow. Am I right?
Yeah, it's still in the shadow. And it gets back to the station. And that's in a couple of weeks' time. So I want us to enjoy, absolutely, that we can speak a little more clearly and things are kind of being, understood instead of having all these crazy misunderstandings and miscommunications and what have you.
Speaking of things not working right, apparently it's not working on some. I think it's working for everybody else because everybody's saying hi and what have you. I think Savannah, firmly strike your computer or log out and log back in again.
Like somehow. I was saying, until 2 weeks when it gets back past the shadow, we're still going to feel a little bit of a lag. But I want to just prepare you guys to understand that the end of May, June, July, if you thought time was going fast now, holy Hector, because Mercury's going to make it past that shadow and it is going to accelerate things. And Mars, who's been dragging butt in the end of Pisces, it's going to move into its home sign of Aries, and things are just going to heat up, move up, shake up. Everything's going to get going.
So they say. Yes, apparently a lot of people are having to refresh on the Tube of You. Must be a conspiracy going on. That must be it. So Helena's joined us as well.
Okay.
And yes, my follicles are
and
indeed
Misty.
Mighty. Whatever. Oh, Misty, we haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? It's all fun, isn't it?
All right. So,
all right.
So just, see, my hair's doing its crazy thing.
Doing its thing?
It's just
doing its thing.
Doing whatever it wants. Anyway, so I think that, what do you always call it? The 7 Ps, prior planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance?
You could say that. That is right. That is.
All right.
Apply the rule of the 7 Ps, yes.
I think that if we looked at the May and June as time frame that we really want to have a schedule or goals, or at least try to get some sort of routine.
Routines.
Because I feel like if we don't, we're going to lose too much of the time, right? So Mars is moving into Aries. Mercury's moving past its shadow. Everything is going to be push forward.
Hurry up, hurry up,
And
hurry up.
The way we can keep from being overwhelmed is to make a little date book or a calendar so that we can write down where we have to be when, and we can kind of make plans and say, like, you know, I need to schedule in some downtime to regroup and
Well, that's the
refresh
first
myself.
that goes, isn't it? The downtime.
And I need to make sure that I understand my obligations and things like that, because I think that can happen sometimes. If Mars is being really pushy and Mercury's moving really quickly, we can forget the details, and we get, you know, or if you're inclined to get stuck in the details,
Yes.
you lose too much of the time you'd actually need to actually work. So now is the time to start planning, right? You got a couple of weeks before Mercury gets out of the shadow. I'm sure you can already feel time being accelerated. I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, saying that, you know, things are just crazy. But get your plan, get your routine. You know, like, I already know we planted a garden and we've got like 1,000 seedlings, and we're going to plant even more stuff. So I know I have to add into my schedule getting up an hour earlier, because I'm not going to be able to water all those
and
plants
go on squash bug patrol.
and go on squash bug patrol if I don't have that extra hour in my schedule. I mean, it sounds funny, but
Fortunately, it's getting lighter earlier now,
yeah.
which is good. You know, don't have to
But
do it
it's
in the
that
dark.
kind of thing, you know. If you have a routine that works great for you, that's wonderful. But be prepared that time is going to feel quite accelerated.
I think a lot of people are agreeing completely with you. I think it was Laura said, "Gosh, Lisa
She's
is
talking
talking
straight to
directly
me.
to me." Oh, hi, Amber.
Instead of
Gun-
calling it overwhelmed, I just straight up call it steamroller.
Steamroller, baby. A steaming, whatever it is.
I schedule myself booked for every Monday so she can regroup and watch the live.
It's not a bad idea, I
Yeah,
suppose.
but
isn't it?
I mean, well, what's the whole? We think about what is the whole. That's Amber.
Amber sent us a super chat.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
That's how we think. Like, what is the whole point of astrology anyway? Right?
What
why,
is the point?
Why are we watching what's going on, and why?
What
you
is
know,
the point anyway?
Well, so that we know what's coming and we can make predictions. Speaking of which, I didn't talk about it last week
Should you have?
because I'm afraid they're going to start with the tinfoil hats. But
We've got plenty of tinfoil. Don't
we know that Uranus Jupiter conjunction is finishing up, and Jupiter's pulling away and moving into Gemini. Now, they won't be conjunct again in Gemini, but Uranus will move into Gemini, and it's going to be in the tail end of Taurus for a while longer. But there are some configurations that now tell us, instead of looking towards floods and earthquakes, we now might want to think about
Wind events?
air events, aviation events,
Oh, my.
and tornado-y kind of things. So I think the stuff that's going on with Boeing
Boeing are having a bad...
is going to get a little more
PR session.
intense as this year progresses. You know, this past week they had the emergency inflatable chute fell off. They've had wheels, landing gear fall off when they took off, and
That's never
you
good.
know,
You kind of needed to
it
get back
started a
now.
while ago with the door that blew out over Alaska and stuff like that.
No,
So
it started before that with the augmented handling system on the 737 Max. Slightly
well,
problematical.
anyway, so
one.
now
Anyway.
as predictive astrologers, we're looking to skies and aviation And I think we're going to see a lot of tornado activity and storms that, hurricanes, storms that are pushed by air.
There was 100 tornadoes across the United States yesterday.
I am so glad I didn't talk
yesterday.
about that last week, because people would be thinking I'm speaking things into being.
Well, don't do that. If you could focus on the lottery numbers, that would be ideal.
I would love to.
Let's speak them into being. Let's do that.
There must be a way to devise that, because numerology and astrology are connected. And you could look at the patterns and you might be able to figure out how to predict numbers. That's the next thing I'll have to look at. Lottery divination.
What's this? Kevin called Uranus square Pluto during retrograde Tyrone, and yesterday he said Tyrone is back on his BS. He's also terrified of flying, so that isn't helping my cause.
I don't know who Kevin is, but I guess he follows astrology.
I guess. You never know. What's this? Rummaging through cabinets. Now, where is my heavy-duty aluminium foil? I just get the colander out, mate. Just go with the colander. Unless it's plastic, then it's not going to work. You
Rummaging through cabinets now to look for aluminum foil, yes.
Aluminium.
Uranus, Saturn, something anyways. He calls it Tyrone. Okay.
Okay. Something anyways. Yeah, whatever.
Well, Saturn's making its tour of Pisces. And Neptune is in the tail end of Pisces.
I have to tell you this, that our psychic fair, obviously I'm not going to name names, but I saw an inordinate number of Pisceans on the amount of people in Pisces. Like, you're another Piscean?
Yeah.
Another Piscean?
Well, we had
what was going on there?
one name that repeated 4 times yesterday.
Oh, that was fun,
funny.
yeah.
But the Neptune is giving us some wild dreams. And it's also in its tail end of its tour of its happy home sign of Pisces, and then it's going to move into Aries. And I just think that things are going to get this next wedge of 4 years where all the outer planets change signs. It's just going to be pretty wild. What's everybody saying now? Holy crap.
I don't know. Well, Ash is saying she agrees we need to get some kind of lottery thing going on here. I agree. Let's have a chunk of change out of this. That'll work. We can
Let's create a collective, figure out as a collective, and figure out the lottery. Couldn't get in the chats. Okay, see, Susan is there.
Well, you are apparently in the chat, Susan.
I agree about the wild dreams. I need to stop by the shop looking for a book. Okay. Well, we've got
Kevin's
some stuff.
her boyfriend.
Okay.
Gotcha now, your beau. You gotcha. I understand.
And he's an astrologer, apparently.
Must be.
Well, we had a reader once that said when he became benevolent dictator, the first thing he was going to do was blow up Saturn.
Or Mercury, was it?
No, it was Saturn. He didn't like Saturn. He didn't like lessons and karma. He's going to blow Saturn.
Well, there may be a deep message there. I don't like lessons, so I'm going to blow up the thing that teaches
the taskmaster.
So therefore we assume we know everything, and there is no need for any further lesson.
Right, but anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I think if we get in tune with what's being offered, we could make better use of it than not understanding it or trying to fight against it, right? You know yourself. If you need time,
yes,
then you need a routine to carve out that time. Things are getting a little crazy. But yeah.
I'm starting to make some sense out of TikTok. I need somebody to come and teach me TikTok. Well, notice now, where Ash has said something, you can tell she's done lots of things. So Ash has got a #1 gifter badge. Way to go, you. And it also looks like she sent us 11 hearts and 22 somethings. And I don't know what they are. Diamonds?
The whole world's gone mad, and the universe says, hold my mead.
Hold my beer and watch this.
The world has gone mad. Lots of nights with no sleep. The energy's wonky. Oh, it is crazy.
It is. But, here's an opportunity, though. When you have, really mad, crazy dreams, why don't you, bring that into your creative sort of centre and
help them to be kind of prophetic, or maybe,
possibly,
unless they're completely ridiculous.
Or use it as a base for writing or something, or poetry. Yeah. There's how many? What are you doing now? Are you sending alms? Alms for an ex-leper? I don't know.
Sean is sending a
apparently
buttload
Sean
of
is sending
somethings.
us a lot of somethings. It's corn. Oh, it's corn.
Oh.
What am I supposed to do with corn?
Jimmy crack corn, you know.
You don't care.
Anyway, so I also think that if we look at the people who don't really have a basis for understanding what's happening, they are the ones who are truly going mad, right? They're very much being sucked in by illusion and crazy things. All right, more comments over there.
Well, everybody's being dead chatty today, which is wonderful. We like it.
Fun.
It is because this is
I'm in for the lotto. We have Discord forum for members. What?
No, it says, do we have a Discord forum for members or something of that sort? No, of course we don't.
Discord.
That would involve some degree of organisation.
Discord doesn't sound good.
Discord is a what do you call it?
The forum is the shop. Yeah.
kind of is, you know. People like to hang out at the store and stuff. And if you're close, I don't know where in the world you are, Laura, but our circles are fantastic on Fridays.
And we just finished yesterday.
Thank you so much for everybody who helped.
All the benches got stripped and varnished, and all the weeds got picked up, and everything got bagged up, and the maypoles all set, and we can fit 55 people.
Wow.
So we should be okay for everybody to be able to come Friday night for Beltane and dance the maypole, unless, of course, it rains.
Plague of frogs.
The other thing I would say to you, people who are looking for a gathering place, Wednesday nights, starting May 22nd, we're going to have the Witch's Tea again from 6 to 8.
Yes.
So that's a $10 donation, but you get tea and refreshments and mini workshop training kind of thing.
I mean, going forwards as well, and I'm just spitballing this. I haven't talked to Lisa about it, but the Witch's Tea could also possibly spill over to a live stream as well. Might be able to.
No.
You think no? Oh, she says no. Whatever.
No, it'd have to be 2 separate nights. One person cannot serve the room and the online thing. We went through this with Circle. I hate it, so no.
She hates it.
A Facebook group that probably is easier. We
do have a Facebook group, actually.
The shop has a Facebook page.
The church has a Facebook page.
The church has a Facebook page.
We'll have to see what we can do.
Looking forward to the Witch's Tea, yes. And everybody's going to come and do their dysfunctional dancing.
Dysfunctional.
Drew was asking yesterday about the Maypole song, and I said, well, I'll sing it to you because we have our own version. And I said, we're all quite dysfunctional. Nobody can ever get the weave right, but I try. I really try. But yeah, no, we wouldn't subject someone to do tea live and on online at the same time. No.
Tricky.
No.
Tricky dicky.
No.
I know.
Right. Can you imagine if we had a room full of people at this time that we were trying to talk to as well? Not happening. One or the other.
Can be difficult.
You cannot do it.
Can be difficult.
Neither group would be happy.
No. Well, there you go. If you're on the Talk of Tick, please do share it with your people, so we get more people. We're going to try and do a campaign on TikTok to get to 10,000 viewers, so that we can use the one little bit of software and go live in both places rather than have to fall over on our phone and all that sort of stuff. Because you can only see if we put our heads together in the middle.
Oh, my hair is still doing its weird thing. It's not parted in the right place or something, and it refuses to do it. I don't like to blow dry my hair because then it dries it all out. But anyway.
Yeah, well, I can't do a damn thing with mine either, to be honest. It's just very unkempt. Bit of humidity like today, woomph,
All right.
What? Moving on. Anyway, what are we doing now?
So Saturn square with Uranus is good, bad? Squares are bad.
Can you imagine, square is like a corner, like this. And you can imagine walking into the corner of a table. It's like, ouch.
But Saturn is not square Uranus because Saturn's in Pisces and Uranus is in Taurus. So I don't, unless that's something in your own chart, Sean.
I don't know. I know naught of such technical matters. Well, you're not alone without this beautiful community because you're here now, aren't you?
You're here now, yeah.
You're here now. So Ergo, it's not right. I don't remember what it was. Lisa mentioned it. I've been showing him the channel. It was something Trine Square. Don't remember according to Google.
Oh, I talk about different stuff all the time. But
yeah.
But
figure it out if you can.
Oh yeah, Uranus and Pluto. See, all the signs are moving. It's changing a generation.
And Ash says your hair looks just fine.
Well, no, it's all wonky, but it's okay. Thank you very much. I love you.
I used to do a lot of self-deprecation too, you know, but I had to give it up. I was no good at it. Oh, don't worry, Laura. You couldn't confuse us. We're already like completely confused. It's our remit in life is to spread chaos and confusion.
In a couple of days, the tarot scopes will be up, and I feel well enough to actually record them.
Oh, well done.
So you'll be able to I'll talk about astrology, and I'll talk about each sign. And if you know your rising sign, the sign that was on the horizon when you were born,
yes,
it's always a good idea to read that one as well.
And apparently Bird Lady admires our draperies. Well, thank you.
They are birch trees.
We have our little altar behind us, actually, if we just get out of the way there. That's our little altar in the studio here.
And Gwenati.
Exactly so, exactly so. So we're doing some readings then? Is that what we're doing now? Because we've got like a ton of people.
Yeah, I feel like bad that the YouTube people, I'll move the candle over there. I don't want the YouTube people not to see the candle.
Okay, but they can see the candle.
They can now. It was blocked by the...
Oh, well, no, the camera was in the way. The camera...
The TikTok.
The phone. This is trying to work with multiple pieces of equipment.
And you want to add live people to this kind of thing? Yeah, no. All
Real
right.
people.
Ash is first. Now, remember what we said, that each time we gather, it's a different kind of group of people, and the energy can be a little bit influenced by the oversoul or the group that's gathering. Many times there are similar people, but sometimes there are new people and people we haven't read for in a while. So listen to everybody's reading, not just yours, because there may be something going on that will speak to you. And I say this because this past week, for Tarot for Tomorrow, I had 2 comments that were like, get out of here, I can't believe this happened. But the tarot speaks across time and space. One of my friends, the night I talked about don't get a speeding ticket, got pulled over and managed not to get the speeding ticket. But
she glibly talked her way out of it.
Yeah, but in familiar territory, you know, it was what was predicted by the cards. So it doesn't really have that much to do with me or Anton or anything like that. It's more about just understanding the language that's being spoken and being able to speak that out to you.
Yes.
So think about what the theme is today as we go through these cards, and think about other people's answers. Even if you're not eligible to get a reading, you may get something from the overview of everyone's readings. All right. You saved Kevin that day. Isn't that funny? The cards are... Yeah, it's Age of Aquarius.
All right, is this for Ash?
Collected. This is for Ash.
Change and transform. Change and transform. Opportunity to completely wipe the slate clean here and move into pastures new, if you will. This a lot of people see this card, freak out and run for the hills, but it isn't really.
No, it's a big card of transformation.
It's a huge card of transformation, and it may actually be a realization of a truth that you can no longer go back to being blissfully ignorant. You know, once you've learned that, you can't unlearn it. You can't, you know, as long as you get your marbles, that is. You know, you can't plead blissful ignorance anymore. And I think there's this like almost, because they say death is like the final initiation, isn't it? Or it could be the first initiation. Who the hell knows? But it's interesting that we have here. This is what actually happens, apparently. So there you go. That confirms it. Then I'll shut up and.
Yeah. No, there's like a reboot. First of all, I always like to point out that the feather in the cap is similar to the Fool's. So the guy on the horse, or the person that we're reading for, has agreed that they will have that faith in themselves. And now instead of leaping off the cliff, they're up on their horse ready to ride. You know? So you do have that experience, that understanding, that stuff that you had before is still there. But now it's being used towards some sort of transformative thing. There's also the bishop that's kind of giving the blessing, and the light that's coming up over there. So there is a brightness, a shift, and for some reason I feel like I want to say to you, you're opening a veil, something that was kind of there that you've been pushing up against, or knowing was there but didn't understand it was there. That curtain's being drawn back and you'll be able to see it. All right.
So Savannah, I'm just gonna before we do another reading, have you heard the tarot for tomorrow for today? We posted it
That's
last
what she
night.
said. She posted about it.
Someone X is messaging me yesterday and immediately told her they broke up 2 years ago, so it's so weird. Yeah. Okay, she already told you then. I don't know. What do I know? Your turn to pick.
Laura says the landlord rented my space to someone else. God almighty, so now I'm moving. Hysterical you guys are on. We ride at dawn. Oh,
We
yeah.
ride at dawn. We ride at noon. Well, we ride at noon. Dawn's a bit early for us, to
All
be
right.
honest.
So I'm first this time for Sean.
Sean.
Haven't you been getting this card?
Oh, that doesn't
It
suck,
always gets
Sean.
like wands or swords.
This doesn't suck, Sean. This is a good card.
This is
mate.
also a guy riding a horse, but this time he's got a wreath. And that wreath reminds me very much of the World card, right? The wreath that the lady walks through into another dimension and another understanding. And this card's name is Victory, if we were looking for a name for it. But I think it's high time that you got up on that horse and take your victory. 2 weeks in a row. That's fine.
It's so fascinating. I love it. I love it. So the wreath actually is a laurel wreath, and I don't know, but I've just suddenly got into my head he's resting on his laurels, which is what you mean. He's like securing the knowledge of all the victories that he's accomplished, kind of thing. So I think this card doesn't suck.
Build your life and be a good person, then there you go.
I think sometimes, we don't realise that when we're going through painful experiences on our lives, when we're going through periods of intense transformation, and we feel like poop. I don't want to share too much personal detail, but Lisa and I, the second time round for both of us, and it was kind of painful. The original breaking up for both of us individually in our own rights, but where we are now would never have happened had that not have happened. And so what ostensibly may be like a painful thing, so long as you actually can process the information, the lesson that you are being given, and there is a lesson there, if you are able to process that and incorporate it, you will be victorious. You will overcome. And I think you're in the point now where you're that little bit older and a little bit wiser, and you're now able to go back and reprocess some of the stuff I think that was in your formative years or earlier parts of life, and bring that back and review it in a new light and be victorious as a result. So this is a really, really good card.
And it's the second week in a row he's had it.
There you go. Well, there you go. It's good that card does not suck,
All right.
my friend. It
Laura
does not
is
suck.
up next. You're first.
On first for Laura. Oh, juggle. Although, girl, I think you do thrive on chaos a little bit, to be honest. It's almost your wheelhouse. You don't do dull and boring. You like a little bit of chaos and all sorts of stuff around you. But you've got it. I would suggest, though, perhaps being a little more. If you spend a lot of time fighting fires, try to spend a little more time in fire prevention, because it will save you an awful lot of grief further down the road, if you know what I mean. So, proactive rather than reactive would be my advice to you.
All right. You know the old cliche, everything happens for a reason.
Always.
You may not have wanted to leave the space that you're in.
Right.
And you may have just decided you're going to stay there. And the move now is kind of forcing you to reorganize, right? When even if you just shove everything in boxes and take it to the new place, in order to put it out in the new place, you have to reorganize it, you know? So it's kind of like a time for inventory and doing both those jobs, reestablishing, resetting, reorganizing, getting everything all put away and ready to go, and still working on that creative energy to make new things and make things happen. And things are going to move really, really quick again. So I'm going to say make your plan. Okay.
Who we got now?
I am first for Savannah.
Off you go then. Logan's joined us. Hello, Logan, and thank you so much again for coming out and helping us yesterday. That was really, really, really,
Commercial
really decent
interruption. All right.
I can't help that.
Laura likes a challenge and seeing what she can do. That's right. Savannah says that might be the best quote of the day. If you spend a lot of time fighting fires, spend some time in fire prevention. All right, Savannah.
Well, that's what I said.
Yes, that's what I said. Decisions.
Where? What do we do? I can't see what's going on here.
You're down towards the bottom. I needed to, and I had to. The move is a forced hand, but the best.
Super fast, yeah.
All right.
All right, marvelous.
Savannah, 7 of Cups. Decisions. Now, normally I would tell people this is about having to make a big decision or some sort of choice. But I think this has more to do right now for you with mindset, right? Like, I already know I can do it. It's not about being wishy-washy about making the choice. It's about knowing this is going to happen. This is my choice. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it. So I don't think this is as much about, dabbling around making choices as it is making the decision that you've already taken become real.
Things are not as they appear, nor are they necessarily otherwise, is what I would say here. Things that may have been portrayed to be something might actually be something else. So I think what you're being asked to use here is your intuition and your discernment. Your intuition is a very important very important part of the process. But your discernment is perhaps more important here. So you might have a gut feeling, but you've got to corroborate your sources, if you know what I mean. Dig a little deeper and figure out why it is you have the gut feeling that you have, and put some meat on the bone, kind of thing. Put some evidence in there, because I think important decisions have to be made, and I really will stress, things may not be exactly as they appear. So discernment is key. Nor are they necessarily otherwise.
Right.
Exactly.
You are first for Gilda.
Gilda. My mate Gilda. Oh, time to celebrate. I would play it on the bagpipes, but you'd all leave the room. And I don't have any bagpipes, so it's just as well.
Samaj says, I like being the person in charge of the turkey tray because you know what the value of each gift is. Well, come on out and play witchy bingo with us.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, Witch Go is wicked cool. So yeah, I think this is a time for you to celebrate. Maybe connect with a couple of old close friends, and have maybe a girls' night out or something. Or just okay play. I think you've been so much to so many for so long, Gilda. You've almost forgotten how to play, and I think it's important you remember that, because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
I have no idea why, but I feel like this is somehow celebrating time that you've managed to have for yourself. So I think maybe you already did some scheduling and lined up some places for children to go and do things with others so that you have an hour or two to just be you. So I feel like you're getting that celebration again of being able to, do whatever it is you want to do for a piece of time. And I think that'll be very healing for you. All right.
All right.
I'm first for Cass.
Well, there you go then.
I can see it's right here.
I can see it now. Oh, yes, I see it now.
Getting the last piece of the puzzle. Getting the last thing you were looking for and putting it back in the lineup, right? So sometimes we work really hard in our life and we accomplish all these things, and then something comes along and, a cup is missing for a while. And I think that you're having some sort of idea or taking some sort of step that's going to get that put back where it goes and kind of fulfill that missing link.
This is for whom?
Cass.
Cass. I don't know, Cass, but I think sometimes we dig our heels in and resist something that could be really, really good for us. I don't know whether it's baggage we're carrying, I don't know whether it's baggage that we're holding three fingers up for.
Amber wants to know how many more people are ahead of her.
Oh, okay, 837. So yeah, I feel you're reticent to do something, and you're basing your reticence on something you can't quite put your finger on. So I think it's something that has gotten stuck in you, and maybe could just bloody. I'm just going to say, just bloody do it, because I think you're on the verge of overthinking it and stifling an opportunity, and I don't want you to do that because I think it's going to be really good for you emotionally. All right, my 2 cents.
All right, you're first for Samaj.
Samaj, we'll have the one at the end. The Minor Arcana Justice card. The Minor Arcana Justice card. What the heck's going on? Imagine the being finding a blissful nap in the shade of a tree.
Suddenly you awake to a strange cloud. Holding a floating chalice.
Drink me. No,
that's a different story. All right, this is for Samaj.
I love it. So, Minor Arcana Justice card, as well However, there's this, I think for you, is about being very realistic and bringing a bit of pragmatism into things and actually putting your energies and resources where they need to be. Not where somebody's saying, oh, you should do this, especially if the person who is suggesting you should do this is part of the bloody process or whatever, is on the receiving end of it. Do you know what I mean? Because where I come from, 6 divides so easily by 2, even I can do it. But this person's getting 4 right now, and this individual maybe getting nothing. But that little red ticket sticking out of his pocket shows us that, again, he may be, protesting too much or yelling or saying, I deserve, and really doesn't. You know what I mean? So be your studious, pragmatic self, and really focus on where your energies and resources are best expended.
All right. If somebody said to you, you could do such and so, I think it would be much better received than somebody saying, you should do such and so. I don't know why that's important, but I do see some sort of shift or decision, and possibly some sort of contract having to do with finances. And I think it's important that you do what you really think is best. And I know you probably follow that sort of idea anyway, but just allow yourself to replace the word should with could, and it might make the decision easier.
All right, so can you put down the salty skull TikTok? Salty skull TikTok. Because they sent us a gift. I can see that I'm starting to figure out the talk of tick now.
Good
you see this
you.
little badge here? This indicates that somebody's gifted us. So if we see that blue badge to the left-hand side, just by there. Because it's kind of hard. We don't see a lot of text there.
I'm first for Misty.
Ooh.
Misty. Some kind of weird cat claw. What the heck?
A panther paw.
All right.
A panther paw.
Misty, sometimes we do have to make a decision. Sometimes we get to a point where we've worked so long to be gray, right? Worked so long to be gray because we don't want to upset the black, we don't want to upset the white. So we try really hard to walk down the middle. We try really hard to keep the balance. But I feel like you're kind of coming to this T or this crossroads where you're going to have to make a decision that you can't just keep both sides happy anymore. I don't know where that's coming from.
Judgment. You notice there's that overwhelming thing. We said when we start out, there's some kind of like oversoul-y kind of thing goes on here. But you're being asked to be a good judge here. See, this card for me, this is the King of Solomon, and you know his parable. It was like, two women, one baby, each claiming the baby was theirs, and he said, "Fine, cut the child in half, give them half each." Yeah, he had to take somebody into a very
Bad place
to really sort of bring about a resolution. So be prepared. Be prepared to. Jess,
all right, Jess, I'll put you on the list.
All
Logan, you're already on the list because you're a channel member, but thank you.
But Logan, we'll take whatever you want to send us. It's all amazing. So again, you may need to force the issue a little bit here by presenting to somebody something that they really don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? You don't literally have to cut a child in two. Don't worry, it's not necessary. But you may have to embrace your dark side a little at this juncture, as far as judgment is concerned, or passing judgment.
All right, you're first for Helena. Let's celebrate the first super chat on live stream. Woohoo!
Way to go, Jess Johnson, super chat on a live stream. Sorry, I need the voiceover man. Who have we got now?
You're first for Helena. Oh my god.
This actually is a good card. This is a good card. Opportunity, I think, for a relationship, perhaps, at some juncture. But there's going to be a difference here, and so much as this is more partnership than just literally being subsumed by somebody else or subsuming somebody else. This is very much about, because you will notice the happy couple, although together, are actually looking out in opposite directions. But I think what sticks out most on this, and if I can get my finger near it, is this little bridge here. This bridge, Avo ben yid bont. He, she, they, or we be a leader must first be a bridge. Remember that. It's about bringing people together, not pushing them apart.
I have no idea why, but I feel like this has to do with some sort of past life connection.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I want to say that it's not always soul mates. We have soul families, soul buddies, and I feel like there is a connection with somebody who may end up being a blood relative that you find or that finds you. And I think that's some sort of soul buddy reunion. I don't know where that's coming from.
Fascinating, Captain.
All right, Amber. You're up, Amber. Your card, Amber, is Queen of Pentacles. Interestingly enough, it is a card that I use to tell somebody they're going to have a safe and happy pregnancy. So that's interesting. But I think in regards to your question about life in general, this is about contemplating. And sometimes we end up repeating the same action, expecting a different outcome. And that isn't really very helpful. If you do the exact same thing, you're probably going to get the exact same results. So it might be time to think about how you could change up or alter your actions to get a better outcome or response.
So there you go. I think this is, you get far more with honey than you'll ever get with vinegar. I think this is being indicative of the need to nurture, to have things grow, rather than be, cold and hard. I think sometimes it's important to nurture, especially, nurture nature, if you will, because it will nurture you right back if you do that. So be mindful of the impact you're making upon the earth right now, what you're doing, how you're working with it. If you're growing stuff, be mindful what you're putting in the ground, on the ground. Keep it organic, keep it safe, keep it good. That would be my 2 cents for you here.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, we have left Susan, Logan, Salty Skull, and Jess. If you thought we lost track of you,
We haven't.
If we haven't, we've got 4 people left: Susan, Logan, Salty Skull, and Jess. And if you are somebody who's a channel member on YouTube who didn't get called, now's the time to
write something
make
in the
a
chat,
comment so we know you're there.
Here. So we know you're
right.
here.
So you're first for Susan. Let me just move these a little bit, scooch them up around a little bit.
Susan. Oh, an almost parallel card, or on a par 2. Oh my goodness! Fix this candle. It's running out of juice.
Okay, give it to me.
Right. Fix it now. Fix it. This is so similar to the last card, the Queen of Pentacles, but it's a different kind of energy. Excuse me. This is very much about, walking in beauty, being very... so using the Venus side of things within you, allowing the flow to come forth, and it's a very what's the word I'm looking for? This speaks of fecundity, not just fertility, but the opportunity here to actually get something going really well. Maybe the birth of a new idea, or the natural development of an idea that you've been working on. I think it's going to start to come into fruition. Yeah, but again, you've got to be mindful to take care of stuff. Walk in beauty. That would be my 2 cents.
I'm just having one of those days where weird stuff's coming in.
Don't you love it?
Susan, I feel like your answer lies within the story of Inanna. Inanna and the Dance of the 7 Veils. So go look up Inanna's mythology, and I feel like that's going to have a big aha for you with whatever it is that you're trying to figure out. So, I don't want to take a lot of time here now to talk about that. I'm sure there's plenty of places you can find the story of Inanna, and I feel like it's going to speak to you for helping with something.
To write the next book. Okay. Maybe your next book. You're going to write another book?
Alrighty.
Excellent.
I'm first for Logan.
All right, then.
I'm going to go way down here. Oh, it's this one here.
Splendid. Ah, yes.
This is the card I use for Sagittarius. And if you think about Sag is the archer, right? And he shoots that arrow out to new frontiers. He's also the occultist who wants to understand hidden things. but you'll notice that his head is covered and he has a little feather in his cap as well. So sometimes we have to remember things as much as we have to learn them. But I think this has to do with that balance or access between the two opposite sides of Gemini and Sagittarius. Gemini talks a lot, but doesn't listen or process. Sag listens well and has the time to process and understand it. So I think as we're moving into the Gemini time of year, and things are going to be accelerated in a nutsy kind of way, you're being reminded, not necessarily to wear those big yellow go-go boots, but to ground yourself and listen and process so that you can reach those new frontiers.
I don't know. I think you could rock those yellow go-go boots. Why the hell not?
I don't know why that just happened.
So yeah, I'm going to pretty much echo what she said. This is
your old soul card,
right?
Right?
It is. It's one of my old soul cards. So listen to yourself. Learn to be still. I know that's bloody difficult.
Well, Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, so it's going to feel a lot of that pushy crazy. Yeah.
But if you when you're talking, you can't hear what somebody else is saying. But you also need to listen to what's going on inside in this intuitive. You're very intuitive. So listen to your intuition, work on it, develop it more, and listen more. As my grandfather would say, "Hey lad, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth. Use them in that proportion," and I think that will help you absorb so much more information and remember stuff.
Right, because
remember stuff that you've kind of forgotten.
We can listen to people, but we don't always get what we need. But listening to our guides definitely gives us answers.
Absolutely. But again, it's I don't know how much you meditate, but maybe you want to work in a bit of meditative practice. It can be good for a soul.
All right, you're up for Salty Skull.
Salty Skull TikTok. If you're still there, say hi, because this is your card. Work, busy, busy, chop, chop, bang, bang. Work, busy, busy, chop, chop, bang, bang. So there. It's okay. I know part of you says, why the hell does everything have to be so difficult? Why is it so hard? Why do I have this huge burden? Change your focus. Look at what you can do. Your back's not broken. You've got this, and you're almost at the city. So you're on the verge of accomplishing yourself. Don't give up now, okay? Do not give up. Do not capitulate. You've got it going on, and you've got broad shoulders. You can lift that weight. You've got it.
I'm going to say that I think you support other people around you way more than they support you. And because things are getting so intense, it may be time that you give some of their responsibilities back to them.
I have a gift for you.
And this could be something to do with family or social life or work. There may be somebody who's leaning on you at work to take up their slack, and you want to say, look, this is not mine to take care of. It may have to do with something going on with family where somebody has been leaning on you for a while, and you might have to say, okay, look, your turn to take up the slack, and I'm going to do what I need to do. I just feel like it's starting to get to be a drag, and you want to get to that little city in one piece. So think about who might need to carry their own stick for a while.
I think somebody just joined us who's given us a gift, but I can't tell. If you have, say hello.
I don't know.
I don't know. All right.
I'm first for Jess.
Jess. Why not?
This one here.
You're feeling that one there.
Ooh.
Actually, this isn't a sucky card at all.
Not at all.
Not a sucky card at all.
Something that is in your mind, the bird's right by her head, something that is in your mind is going to be way more fruitful than you recognize. So, he was just looking at the Empress card, and you see those two trees there in the Empress card, that kind of fecundity. And now they are here in your card. So maybe Susan's Inanna story will help you too. But there's something that you're bringing forward from your mind that will give you that security and groundedness you're looking for.
Awena ganav oduvan asdagav. The when I sing, from the depths I bring, or from the deep I bring. I think there's a very subtle thing going on here, and it's incredibly beautiful, and incredibly good taste, and will help many people. There's an opportunity to be ridiculously well remunerated here, is what I'm saying. We're not quite there yet. Little snails just saying, but don't get too hung up about that, because snails move at a hell of a clip, really. You think, oh, I'm watching it and it's not moving very fast, but you turn away, do something for a second, turn it back, and the snail's disappeared. So maybe they have the ability to teleport. Maybe that's what snails do. And you're drawing weird awens all over the place. She's having an aweneth moment.
I was distracted by awen.
Yes, you do. So even though you're, maybe trying to figure things out at the moment, you think, oh, practically this is difficult and hard and what have you. I think this again is something that's going to not coincidental, because it's probably part of the whole, progress of things, the grand scheme, if you will, is going to take you exactly where you want to be, and with profound. I know the repercussions is hit back. That's the one. I want to say profound something, not repercussions, but consequences. Good consequences, not bad. That's me. That's my 2 cents.
All right, pull the card of the week. Card of the week, everybody. Card of the week. What are we going to do? We're going to take control of the situation.
We are not passengers in our lives. Yes, events can buoy us along occasionally. But should we choose to wrest back the sword of control, you don't have to run anybody through with it. You've just got to have it in your hand, So we need to wrest back the sword of control, get a handle on our lives, and direct the flow of energy.
Direct the force to where you want it to be created.
Use the force, Luke. Use the force.
I mean, the energy cycles are as old as time. And aligning with them is a lot easier than ignoring them. Mm-hmm. But I do think this is kind of ending where we began today, saying get yourself sorted, get your schedule, get your routine, get ready to deal and hold your control.
Cool. Yeah. Big changes,
big changes. All right.
All right. Is that us then? Are we done for today?
All right.
Well, I think we did all right. I think we managed to bluff our way through it.
Oh yeah. Nobody realizes.
That's true. That's all. For someone, I've only been reading cards for 10 minutes.
Well, I'm just a pigment of your imagination.
A pigment?
A pigment.
A pygmy of your imagination.
All right. Thank you, everybody, so very much.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the gifts on the tick of top.
Lots of great things going on. Lots of good stuff at the shop.
Do share our channel.
If you want a seat for Friday and you don't usually have a seat, do call and let us know.
Please. We are so hoping to be outside. I'm just, anybody who does good weather magic, make sure.
Push it off to Saturday or let it.
No rain, please.
Yeah.
No rain.
Let it be nice for Friday night with no lake.
Deluge.
No lake in the west.
No deluge. All right. So there you go. Excellent message for the week. Feels very buzzy already. Enjoy your week. Yes, enjoy your week. Thank you so very much.
Have a good one, everybody.
I'll try not to burn myself.
Hopefully my hair day will be better.
You're having a beautiful hair day. Thanks for watching. Bye for
now.
Bye. If I can stop this. There we go. And we can stop over here. Bye for now.
There you go. All right. 194 views, 3 gifts.